Today we're going to show you how to create a purchase order using Infor.XA. Infor.XA is a demand-driven ERP. In other words, everything happens because there's some sort of a demand put on the system. To purchase something, there must be an order for purchasing. To manufacturing something, there must be an order to manufacture it, or a manufacturing order. To sell something, there must be a customer order. Each order is a demand upon the system to do some sort of a function, and nothing should be done without that source of demand or that order being created. When you create a customer order, that order will tell the system to manufacture something to sell. To make that product, you use manufacturing orders that are connected to the customer order to drive the manufacturing process. To complete the manufacturing process, you use purchase orders to supply the product that needs to be used to be manufactured, our raw materials, if you would. To create a purchase order, you simply start your Mapix XA or Infor.XA PowerLink session. You do that by double-clicking on that icon on your desktop, which brings up the dialog box for logging in. A username and password would be entered into the appropriate fields. We're going to be using the test environment because we don't want to make real purchase orders. However, the purchase orders we are creating are actual purchase orders that they just aren't in the live environment, they're in the test environment. Once the client is launched, the main screen will be open. From here, you would click on the Procurement tab. From the Procurement tab, we would click on the Purchase Order icon, which would list out all the purchase orders in the system. To create a purchase order, you would click on the piece of paper icon here, which is the Create icon. A dialog box opens up with a default purchase order already populated. You can override this purchase order number by typing your own purchase order number in. The requirement is that it must start with the letter P there, and it must not be already an open PO number. Every individual will have their own configuration, the buyer number and their own warehouse defined in the system. However, this is my login, so nothing is really defined as far as that goes. To find the buyer number, we simply click on the magnifying glass, leaving the description blank, and hit continue. All the buyers in the system will be listed in this dialog box. I want to select the test one. Vendor, I could once again click on the magnifying glass. I'm looking for a specific vendor, so I could type a partial name of the vendor in. This time I'm looking for Golden State, so I could type the word Golden. Double clicking on Golden State will put the vendor number in here automatically. I need to select a warehouse. I can click on the the magnifying glass, leaving this blank, and hit continue. All the warehouses in the system will be displayed at once. I'm going to select Warehouse 1 for LA. Click on Create. I recommend going to the default card using this card right here, which gives us a lot of information on one screen. We have this portion of the dialog box is our PO number, the date, the buyer. By default, it's approved. If I was to click on this icon, this box right here, it would be unapproved until we got a vendor approved back from the vendor. So we would not be able to receive it until we did a vendor operation on it. This portion of the dialog box will show us our ship to information. That's where we're going to have the product shipped to. Bill to is where the bill is going to be sent to, and the vendor address. This portion of the dialog box allows us to put comments in the order. We can do it freehand by clicking in either one of these two icons. This would put it on before or after any comments that happen to be in the system. Already, this order doesn't have any, so it's really a moot point. We could select a canned message, put it before or after any comments that happen to be in here. We simply click on the icon, click on the magnifying glass. All the pre-canned comments are in the order or in the system are shown. Select one and hit create. That will be displayed in this box here. If we want to add something before then, we can simply click on the before icon, type in please press create, and notice it puts that comment in before the stock comment. To add items to the order, we use this portion of the dialog box, and we simply click on the create button. Click on the magnifying glass on the item number, and I'm going to look for a UV7, so I can type in UV7. I'm looking for a casting. I hit continue. Anything with UV7 in the description will be displayed in the dialog box. I look for the item I want, UV7 casting, which is right there. Double click on it, populates the part number there. I would enter the quantity, let's say 100. I need to select the due date to stock. Use the calendar function. I need to select the date that's in the future. I cannot use today's date or a date in the past. I need to pick some date in the future. If there's a contract, I could select the contract. Unit price, I should know what the unit price is going to be, but if not, leave it blank. I could use this checkbox here to make it a blanket order, which means I could use the same purchase order with a number of releases. That way each month or each couple months or each week, whatever the terms would be, I would release a new release using the same PO number. These two checkboxes here, return here to create another one, another line item, and preview before we create. It's a waste of time to do a preview, but you could leave it checked. I want to return here, hit create. The item is populated in the order right here in the dialog box. This window opened back up where I could add another item. Let's say I wanted the UV5. UV5. Continue. Any item with the UV5 in the description will be displayed. And I want to pick a casting, so where are you? Let's just pick this one here. We want to change the quantity to follow to 100 because from the previous order. Line item, we need to change it to a different quantity. We do it there. Unit price is, what did I get, $15, let's say. Create. That line item is added. If we're done entering items, we hit cancel on that dialog box. We are now ready to process the order. If we hit the create icon or the create button down here, this is what is displayed. The details of the order. We hit confirm post. The purchase order has now been created. If we want to print it, oops. Here's the purchase order we just created. If we want to print it, we highlight it, go to File, Host Print, click on the print button, hit Submit. It tells us right here that we're going to print the selected purchase order. We say yes, and that purchase order would now be printed on your local printer. That's how you enter a purchase order using PowerLink.